Hello again everyone. I'm going to read the second part of chapter 9 from Alice in Wonderland now. And just before the part that we're about to start, Alice was walking with the Duchess in the Queen's garden, and the Duchess was talking all sorts of nonsense and then scurried off when the Queen arrived. The Queen has been talking to Alice and is now taking her to meet someone called the Mock Turtle, and Alice doesn't know who that is. They very soon came upon a griffin lying fast asleep in the sun. If you don't know what a griffin is, look at the picture. So this is an imagined creature that looks like it's some sort of lion and a bird. It's a cross between the two. "Up, you lazy thing," said the Queen, "and take this young lady to see the Mock Turtle and hear its history. I must go back and see after some of the executions I have ordered." And she walked off, leaving Alice alone with the griffin. Alice did not quite like the look of the creature, but on the whole she thought it would be quite as safe to stay with it as to go after the savage Queen, so she waited. The griffin sat up, rubbed its eyes, then it watched the Queen till she was out of sight, and then it chuckled. "What fun," said the griffin, half to itself, half to Alice. "What is fun?" said Alice. "Why, she," said the griffin. "It's all her fancy, that. They never execute nobody, you know. Come on." "Everybody says come on here," thought Alice, as she went slowly after it. "I never was so ordered about in all my life. Never." They had not gone far before they saw the Mock Turtle in the distance, sitting sad and lonely on a little ledge of rock, and as they came nearer, Alice could hear him sighing, as if his heart would break. She pitied him deeply. That means she feels really sorry for him. "What is his sorrow?" she asked the griffin, and the griffin answered, very nearly in the same words as before, "It's all his fancy, that. He hasn't got no sorrow, you know. Come on." So they went up to the Mock Turtle, who looked at them with large eyes full of tears, but said nothing. "This here young lady," said the griffin, "she wants for to know your history, she do." "I'll tell it her," said the Mock Turtle in a hollow tone. "Sit down, both of you, and don't speak a word until I've finished." So they sat down, and nobody spoke for some minutes. Alice thought to herself, "I don't see how he can ever finish if he doesn't begin." But she waited patiently. "Once," said the Mock Turtle at last with a deep sigh, "I was a real turtle." These words were followed by a very long silence, broken only by an occasional exclamation of from the griffin, and a constant heavy sobbing from the Mock Turtle. Alice was very nearly getting up and saying, "Thank you, sir, for your interesting story," but she could not help thinking there must be more to come, so she sat still and said nothing. And if you look at the picture, you can see that on this rocky ledge we've got the griffin and Alice, and then we have the Mock Turtle standing on a rock. And if you look at him, he looks like he might be a strange cross between two creatures too, because his feet don't look like the feet that would belong to him. They look like pig's trotters. Let's find out more. "When we were little," the Mock Turtle went on at last more calmly, though still sobbing a little now and then, "we went to school in the sea. The master was an old turtle. We used to call him Tortoise." "Why did you call him Tortoise if he wasn't one?" Alice asked. "We called him Tortoise because he taught us," said the Mock Turtle angrily. "Really, you are very dull." "You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a simple question," added the griffin, and then they both sat silent and looked at poor Alice, who felt ready to sink into the earth. At last the Gryphon said to the Mock Turtle, "Drive on, old fellow, don't be all day about it." And he went on in these words. "Yes, we went to school in the sea, though you mayn't believe it." "I never said I didn't," interrupted Alice. "You did," said the Mock Turtle. "Hold your tongue," added the Gryphon, before Alice could speak again. The Mock Turtle went on. "We had the best of educations. In fact, we went to school every day." "I've been to school, to day school too," said Alice. "You needn't be so proud as all that." "With extras?" asked the Mock Turtle a little anxiously. "Yes," said Alice. "We learned French and music." "And washing?" said the Mock Turtle. "Certainly not," said Alice indignantly. "Ah, then yours wasn't a really good school," said the Mock Turtle in a tone of great relief. "Now at ours they had at the end of the bill French, music and washing extra." "You couldn't have wanted it much," said Alice, "living at the bottom of the sea." "I couldn't afford to learn it," said the Mock Turtle with a sigh. "I only took the regular course." "What was that?" inquired Alice. "Reeling and writhing, of course, to begin with," the Mock Turtle replied, "and then the different branches of arithmetic: ambition, distraction, uglification and derision." Now, those are words that sound like the things that we do at school, reading and writing, but instead the Mock Turtle did reeling, which means going around in circles, and writhing, which means moving about a lot. And then instead of addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, the Mock Turtle did ambition, distraction, uglification and derision. And they aren't the same things that we do at all. "I have never heard of uglification," Alice ventured to say. "What is it?" The Gryphon lifted up both its paws in surprise. "What? Never heard of uglifying?" it exclaimed. "You know what to beautify is, I suppose?" "Yes," said Alice. It means to make something prettier." "Well then," the Gryphon went on, "if you don't know what to uglify is, you must be a simpleton." Alice did not feel encouraged to ask any more questions about it, so she turned to the Mock Turtle and said, "What else had you to learn?" "Well, there was mystery," the Mock Turtle replied, counting off the subjects on his flappers. "Mystery, ancient and modern, with seography, then drawling. The drawling master was an old conger eel that used to come once a week. He taught us drawling, stretching and fainting in coils." "What was that like?" said Alice. "Well, I can't show it you myself," the Mock Turtle said. "I'm too stiff, and the Gryphon never learnt it." "Hadn't time," said the Gryphon. "I went to the classical master, though. He was an old crab, he was." "I never went to him," the Mock Turtle said with a sigh. "He taught laughing and grief, they used to say." So he did," said the Gryphon, sighing in his turn, and both creatures hid their faces in their paws. "And how many hours a day did you do lessons?" said Alice in a hurry to change the subject. 10 hours the first day," said the Mock Turtle, 9 the next, and so on." "What a curious plan!" exclaimed Alice. "That's the reason they're called lessons," the Gryphon remarked, "because they lesson from day to day." This was quite a new idea to Alice, and she thought it over a little before she made her next remark. "Then the 11th day must have been a holiday." "Of course it was," said the Mock Turtle. "And how did you manage on the 12th?" Alice went on eagerly. "That's enough about lessons," the Gryphon interrupted in a very decided tone. "Tell her something about the games now." And that's the end of chapter 9. And the next chapter is called The Lobster Quadrille, and that's a kind of a dance. So we'll find out a little bit more in chapter 10. Thank you for joining me today for chapter 9. See you again next time. Bye bye for now.